Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 1st to the 15th, 2023 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel be seen by the YouTube algorithm, so thank you so very much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what energy we need to be mindful of, Sagittarius, during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Five of Cups. So we need to be mindful of really focusing on the negative and not the positive. So it's like change your mind, change your life. Because here, it's going to be a very easy time to, like, what frustrates us, it really frustrates us. What we find annoying, we find really annoying. So here, it's just knowing that. It's like, okay, I need to make time to embrace calm because I can be completely overwhelmed if I don't. There can also be something that's happening during this time from the 1st to the 15th that has us a little bit on edge. We could be afraid or a little bit overwhelmed. So everything's just like dialed up a little bit. Be aware of this. It can also be something happening astrologically that's like that has our bodies just on edge and we might not even be aware of why. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Blissful. To be full of bliss is a beautiful thing. And it's a rare thing to see somebody full of bliss. That's why when people first fall in love or, just like when things are going their way and they're happy, they shine. Here it's letting us shine with bliss. And it's not having to have something new or a new person come into our lives or some sort of success come forward. Can we imagine as just human beings living a blissful life? It sounds beautiful. It also sounds really hard at times. And so here, it's letting us be full of bliss, saying, what is it that's important to me? What is it that's beautiful to me? What is it that moves me forward? And, with my soul full of joy, and it's embracing that, full of bliss. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. And he said, he was like, not every moment of every day, but don't be one of those people who says, I'm never happy. I never do what I want to do type of thing and mean it. There are those people who never have a moment's joy in their whole entire lives. Let yourself be filled with joy. Let yourself have moments of joy and start filling them. Start, filling up your cups with little tiny droplets of joy, little tiny droplets of happiness and beauty, because it'll fill it up. We tend to, and I was talking to a Qigong master and he said, the ugly, it sticks to us. So we can fill our cups up with ugly really easy. The ugly, the things that hurt our feelings, the things where we're just, sensitive and we take it personally. It fills us up. But the beautiful things, we're like, oh, that's beautiful, and we let it go. And we forget to fill ourselves up with the beautiful. Could you imagine if we just said to the ugly, oh, okay, and we let it go, and we fill ourselves up with the beautiful, beautiful moments. Beautiful moments matter. Let's see what Spirit has to say through the tarot. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay. Okay, so what's really interesting here is that we're going to be really good students. All right. Even if we don't want to be, even if we're like, oh my gosh, Dane, I don't want to be a student. But with the King of Cups, the leaders of, the leader and saying, like, emotionally, this is what I want, and I'm going to lead by example, that we can find a little bit more tricky. But learning how to fill up our cups, being inspired by things that we never expected, that we're going to be really, really good at. And talking with our hearts, which sounds like a silly thing, but talking with our hearts, embracing what we love, saying, my emotions, they matter. That's going to be a really powerful thing for us. And we can tend to, kind of want to boil that water, right? As fire sign energies, we want intensity to it. But this is learning how to calm and center ourselves. The world itself has enough chaos to its emotions. And it's how do I stand in the calm through that chaos? How do I stand in the beauty and the power of me and what I desire and what I love? And there's a sense here also of really focusing on our crown chakra, really focusing, on our mind. And how is our heart talking to our mind? What words are we saying to ourselves? Prosperity is going to be very important to us during this time. And, it doesn't have to be, having a bigger salary or, going more extravagant places. It's just going to be being prosperous within ourselves. When I see the pentacles now, the king and the queen of pentacles, I always see very finely dressed people. And it doesn't mean that the clothes have to be expensive and everything has to be expensive. It means I take care of how I look. So often in our lives, we're so busy taking care of everything that we forget to take care of ourselves. It's kind of like if I brush my teeth, I'm lucky, type of deal. Here, it's like, no, you matter. Take care of you. People are seeing you, and people will continue to see you as a very prosperous, very bountiful person. You have to see yourself as that. It's very, very important when the Queen and the King of Pentacles show up. Right now, we just have the Queen. And subconsciously, the king might show up. I don't know. But we're going to find that taking care of ourselves, it really matters. It really matters. We're just going to feel better. So if you're putting yourself last, at the very end of everything, stop. Stop and put yourself first. Or at least up further in the line if you can't be first right now. Your dreams are going to have practical messages for you. So pay attention to that. Have a little notebook with so you can write your dreams down. Pay attention to that. Or like ask your spirit guides. Like if you're just starting to wake up and you're in that like hazy space between sleep and waking, or between waking and sleep, ask your spirit guides to guide you towards your prosperity, towards your success, towards what you need to know, because you're going to find that even if you don't remember your dreams, there's going to be this sense of like, oh, well, I know I should be doing this, or, oh, I can, that's easier for me, right? It's going to be easier. It's like, oh, I can put the puzzle pieces together this way. Love is super important to us. Thanking those people in our lives who we love doesn't mean that we have to write them a letter and say thank you, but it means that we take the time to just be thankful for them being in our existence, for them being here with us. It's going to be a very powerful thing. The roses also, roses are going to be important to us. And I'm just seeing like a bouquet of roses. I don't know if you're walking through a rose garden, or if you'll be walking through a rose garden, or if there's like somebody sends you a bouquet of roses, but the roses are important. And what that symbolizes, love, but also like this love for ourselves, this prosperity for ourselves is really important here as well. Focusing on the heart, because in Qigong, pink is the color of the heart. Red is also the color of the heart, but I also see that here very linked to our root chakra, to what grounds us, to what roots us here on this earthly plane. So that's going to be a very important thing. But knowing that people see us as prosperous. So even if we're struggling, even if we have a tendency to look at things and be like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to have this, I need to have that, we might not be getting the support that we need unless we ask for it. because people really see like, oh, you got this. You got this. You're doing great. Like, good job. Good on you. I'm going to take care of me. With the Two of Cups, this is healing, beautiful love. I'm really seeing this as a soulmate connection. Somebody's meeting their soulmate. This does not mean that it has to be a romantic relationship, but this is somebody who eases the burdens of your soul, or who helps elevate and lift up your soul. This is just beautiful. And if you're not meeting this person right now, Sagittarius, the 1st to the 15th, if you don't meet your soulmate, don't be worried. They're coming in. They're coming into your life. And there's also a sense of finding harmony and balance within your soul and for yourself. Now, with the Hierophant reversed, we're not really liking being told what to do. Even though we make really good students during this time, we can really be balking against being told what to do. But we're also, during this time, trying to find our talents, coming into harmony with our talents. And we can really start off this journey, like at the beginning of July, we can really think, I don't have talents. I'm not that type of person who gets to shine. And by mid-July, we're going to be like, no, no, there is power to me. Because as we heal, we're going to start to see our power. We can be having a bit of a conflict with a Taurus energy, and just being aware of that. It could be stubborn and thick-headed, which is of course stubborn, but it's just like super stubborn and determined, and it all has to be so practical that we feel like there's no room for creativity or breath or passion. So just be aware of that. Taliesin in the upright position. That's the bard of all bards in Celtic tradition. It's really embracing our greatness. But when it's reversed, it can almost also feel like institutions. That's not where we shine. So for some of us, a 9 to 5 job is like we're slowly and steadily withering. So be aware of that. Look at yourself. Be open and honest with yourself. And if you're saying like, well, I need that job, Dane, of course, I'm never going to recommend quitting your job, walking away, joining the circus. I mean, unless, you have it all lined up and you've done your research and that's what you want to do. But here with the Hierophant, it's like, what is my success? And if we know that certain things make us wilt, we have to counteract those things with things that make us just shine, just absolutely shine. So embracing our creativity here, it's so interesting because there's cups and jewelry and just prosperity. But I see you working with stones, like working with gemstones a little bit here. I don't know if they're just like shining things that make you happy, or if it's like you find your energy from those stones, like that spark, that fire, that creative them connects with you. That's going to be a big thing. And there's a sense here of energy vibration and working with your own flow of energy. Your energy is off. Okay? And so when we work with our energy and we start to have ourselves become in balance with ourselves, that's going to be a big thing. It's going to help us to calm and settle and steady ourselves and move forward. We're also moving away from really caring what everybody else thinks. Okay? And that's going to be really big because we feel battered and bruised by even just thinking what other people are thinking. It's like it's just too much. And so here we need to be aware of that. We're like falling away from the cage of other people's opinion, like, public opinion. We're not letting that cage us in, but also battling, sitting there and coming out of these battles. We're just battle weary. It's like, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. So being aware of that too is going to be really important, because here it's like, okay, I'm giving myself time to rest and time to reboot, but it's like, I don't want to do this. I'm beaten up, right? It's having the bandage on the forehead. It's having the arm in the sling. We can actually feel that. Like we can feel that in our joints. We can feel that with headaches, just being overwhelmed. And with the King of Cups, we can find it a bit difficult to listen to our hearts. And even though we're students of our hearts, like we're listening, we're connecting. And then we can really think, well, what's the practicality of this? How can I move this forward with me? What we don't understand is that in the tarot, the cups are the Holy Grail. Now, whether you believe in the Holy Grail or not is irrelevant. What it symbolizes is relevant. And the Holy Grail is said to be the cup that caught the blood of Christ when he was spirit inside. And so here, there is that sense of holiness, of connecting with something greater, something sacred, whatever that sacred holiness is to us. And we can find that our hearts are being tested. What we love is being tested. Compassion is being tested. And we can also find that there can be water sign energy in our lives, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or just somebody who is emotionally astoundingly chaotic that is knocking us off our path, that is keeping us from truly embracing what we love and what we want, because their emotions are trumping our own. Their emotions are taking over our own. And we need to be aware of this and say no. So really, seriously, we're tired of the battle. It can be linked with this Taurus energy right here, but we're tired of the battle. And there's a sense here where we need our feet firmly planted on the ground, creating beautiful things, but beautiful things that aren't necessarily lasting. What I'm seeing here is sand drawings, okay? And oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know if you watch Curious George, but or if you have any little people in your existence that watch Curious George, but there's an episode on PBS on Curious George where Curious George is making this beautiful sand picture and it blows away. And the guy says to him, some sand pictures are meant to simply be medicine. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's like something that isn't lasting. It is meant to be medicine for concentrating and calming down and healing the soul. So that's important to you. I didn't get that scene just right because I didn't really sit down and watch it. But yeah, but that is coming into my head. That statement is just really sticking there. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Eight of Pentacles. We can be really, really good at throwing ourselves into our work or being really neurotic about work and getting things done in order and one thing and one thing and one thing and being totally caught up on the details. So just be aware of this. This can really drag us down. Our subconscious spirit message here is meditate. Meditation. However we meditate, whether it be through walking or washing the dishes or, or sitting down and properly, meditating like you see in pictures, it doesn't really matter. But embracing meditation is going to be so powerful for us, so beautiful for us. Just calming down and connecting with our own spirit. Our subconscious tarot message is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is subconsciously feeling out in the cold and feeling like financially everything is just going to be out of reach. It's like everybody else gets to be successful or everybody else gets to be prosperous and I don't. And that's a load of hogwash. Acknowledging that we have this fear or, this kind of like spiritual pull against being successful and saying, I'm done with this. This fear of losing everything, being out in the cold, being forgotten, I'm releasing it. It no longer gets to rule me. And connecting with our money, not holding on to it okay, don't be crazy, right? We have to hold on to our money. Savings is important, but not sitting there and being just ruled by money and the fear that we will never have it. It's a really important thing. It's a really hard thing, especially when we're in difficult situations where the money isn't coming in. So subconsciously, here we have the Queen of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty. And subconsciously, we're like, I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to be prosperous. I don't get to have that. I don't get to have nice things. It's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do, Sagittarius. And if we're building it slowly and steadily, so build it slowly and steadily. We always think it's supposed to be overnight success and it's supposed to happen when you're in your 20s. Sometimes, most of the time, doesn't. Go slowly, go steadily, and be kind to yourself. You matter. You really do. You're super successful. Let that shine through. Even if it's not right now, even if you're super successful in the future, let that shine through. All right. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.